That's what I like about Saudi
Yeah.
because, and that's a good reminder. It's a very modern country, and it's continued to modernize in levels that is outpacing other countries. But holding on to the culture and tradition is very important because that's what makes Saudi Arabia. When people come to Saudi Arabia from America, for example, and they speak about what they enjoy about Saudi Arabia, they always say the people, the hospitality, the generosity that that you have that's deep inside of tradition that go back thousands of years of Arabia. Don't lose that. You know what I mean? Don't lose that. It's very important to keep that balance, to hold on to your, and this message is for the youngsters. Hold on to your tradition. It's okay to modernize, but keep what you have that God blessed the people of Arabia to have.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers, and welcome to another episode of Podcast. So, our guest today is definitely not a stranger to Saudi TV or the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia or even podcasts. Our guest today is Muta'bil, formerly known as Napoleon, way back ago. Very happy and honored to have you on the show. Finally, my man. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me, brother. Thanks for coming. This
You're
our
most-
third time or second, I
This
believe
is, this is
third.
third.
Yes.
I remember we did twice, one for the Khbariya
True.
and one for the radio too as well.
Yes,
and
definitely.
and this is the third time. So I'm very happy to have you with us.
The pleasure is
know.
mine, brother. The pleasure is
Since
mine.
last time I met you, you've been doing a lot of great things. Last
Thank
time
you.
we were at a coffee shop. Today
Yes.
we're at Smoky Beards.
Yes.
One of the best, ribs, definitely, and briskets
Thank
in
you,
town.
brother.
Without a doubt, I see a lot of celebrities come over here.
Yeah.
Whenever there's an event or something.
For
How's
sure.
life?
Alhamdulillah, man. We're in Saudi Arabia, peaceful country. Thankful, bro. Can't complain.
So last time I met you, it was in
Yes.
last interview was back in 2021.
Wow.
Late 2021 on the Khbariya, right?
yes,
Last
yes.
interview we did, which was something like this.
Yes.
Now we are near year 2025. We were just started speaking about, we were post
Yeah.
COVID. We just
True.
started to speak about, what Saudi Arabia is doing, what's going to happen, what's going to come, and everything we said happened even more, right? There's a lot of things going on.
Yes.
You yourself also, of course, you're not a stranger to the TV, your social media accounts. You got a lot of followers on there
Thank
as well.
you,
So
brother.
people do know, a lot about what you're doing when it comes into updates. Now you got, last time it was your coffee, now you do here. So
Man, we with the rib shop, brother.
business is good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. We thankful. I've been in Saudi Arabia now going on 15 years. We here at Smoky Beards, which is a Dallas, Texas style barbecue restaurant. We have smoked ribs, smoked brisket, outlaw fries. You know what I mean? We
Outlaw
barbecue.
fries.
Yeah, we got some fries called outlaw fries.
Where did you get the name Aldo from? Huh?
So we just happy to be here, man. As you mentioned, the last time I was on the show, we spoke about a lot of stuff happening in Saudi. We see it. Just thankful to be here. You know what I mean? Alan, what's his name? Alan Hughes from the Hughes brother just left. He's a big director who did some of the first videos of Tupac Shakur. He did Minister Society. He did some movies with Denzel Washington.
MashaAllah.
He's in town now with Johnny Depp.
He's in town now. He's in Saudi Arabia.
He just
now.
left Smoky Beards now.
MashaAllah.
So for me to see these people that I would have never expect to be in Saudi Arabia, it's mind blowing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
And one of the things is that, I'm like, I see an event. Oh, there's a boxing fight going on here in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And then, of course, I follow you. I'm like, oh, here's Deontay Wilder, sitting with my man, my man Muthaw,
Yeah,
so a lot of them, when they come here, you guys stay in touch. You're like, we're
So
here, we're coming over.
So some I'm in touch with. Some, thank God, word of mouth.
Uh-huh.
That, a lot of times when they come, they hear about this American-style barbecue. I guess, especially the Americans, when, they jet lag, wake up 3 in the morning, they want some ribs. So, we bring them here.
Yeah.
So I'm just thankful, though,
Yeah.
because like I said, being here, I never expected that to see the American crowd come here, so I'm happy. I'm happy people getting to see Saudi Arabia for what it really is. You know, they get to experience it.
And you were one of the people who believed in it before Saudi Arabia was like the cool thing, right?
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
Like you were speaking publicly about Saudi Arabia before it was, you know.
Definitely. Before
You know,
it was a cool thing
yeah,
to do.
before now everybody's
Yeah.
like, I want to come to Saudi, and you know,
For sure.
what are they doing? Ronaldo's here, this is here. You were speaking about it before, you know. You believed
Yes,
it, you
yes.
believed in it before on
sure.
what's going on, and you know, we all know, of course, the story about when you converted to Islam and where back you go and your life here.
Yes, definitely.
And seeing all these changes, Mutah, you know,
Yes.
what is coming into your mind? You're like, you know what? This is not even more than expected, or what's going on up here? You know, you got the American, you know, some big American brands are coming out, you know, big
True.
boxing events, etc.
True.
But you're seeing the tradition, the Saudi tradition, the
Yes.
hospitality is also very important for us to hold on to it.
Of course.
You
of
can
course.
modernize and become global, but
Yes.
still,
Of
you know,
course.
keep it.
That's what I like about Saudi
Yeah.
because, and that's a good reminder. You know, it's a very modern country, and it's continued to modernize in levels that is outpacing other countries. You know, but holding on to the culture and tradition is very important because that's what makes Saudi Arabia. When people come to Saudi Arabia from America, for example, and they speak about what they enjoy about Saudi Arabia, they always say the people, the hospitality, the generosity that, you know, that you have that's deep inside of tradition that go back thousands of years of Arabia. Don't lose that. You know what I mean? Don't lose that. It's very important to keep that balance, to hold on to your, and this message is for the youngsters. Hold on to your tradition. It's okay to modernize, but keep what you have that, you know, that God blessed the people of Arabia to have. One, Islam, of course. Number one is Islam. But two, they're very generous, very hospitable. That's what sets Saudi Arabia apart from other nations, in my opinion, is that when the people come here, you know how many strangers I know that came to Saudi Arabia and say, man, I'm walking down the street and the person asked me where I'm from. I said I'm from America or Canada. They forced me to go eat with them. They pay for my coffee. We not used to that in the West. I pray that Saudis don't lose that, inshallah.
And I see you, man. You know, even when you were in L.A., right? I think you were in
Yes.
L.A. this year, if I'm not mistaken.
I was in the States this year. Yes,
early this year. I'm not
Yes.
sure if it was. LA
I was
or-
on the East Coast.
You're
Yes,
on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and even over there, you're speaking about talking about Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
How is the reaction when they're like, well, you know, 15 years now, you're still there. You know, what's going on with
Yes.
you? What
You know-
kind of questions do you get about what's going on?
I think Saudi now is on the map. It's been on the map, but I think with social media, if I'm not mistaken, 70% of the population of Saudi is below the age 35. It's
60,
a young nation.
65, something like that.
65. So it's a young nation. They all on social media. And now the lies that the media was perpetrating about Saudi Arabia, it's hard to keep them lies up because everybody can go on Snapchat
love
or
that
Instagram
part. I love
and they
that
can see
part.
Saudi for themselves. So they know now. You know
love
what I
that
mean?
part.
They know now.
The lie that, and you know, much respect to you, Muthaw, to be,
Thank
you know,
you, brother.
as a Saudi citizen, you know, you've been speaking and taking it personally and defending,
Yes.
you know, before
For sure.
a while, trying to, as you said, you know, keep up with the lies, saying, you know what,
For sure. Okay, it's my
And-
duty. It's my duty. I think as a foreigner that's living in a country that's been good to me, you know what I mean? One, you know, I'll be online. And like you said, I've been doing this before.
exactly.
You know what I mean? And I'll be, not that, you know, country speak for itself. It's not that they need me to defend it, but a lot of people be like, man, the Saudi government must be paying you money. This is how much I defend it, so, to the point that they think I'm getting paid for this,
Yeah.
which I'm not. You know what I mean?
thanks,
But-
can I have the, you know, the what is it called? What do they call it? You know, the cash back?
Yeah, give me
No.
the cash back. But the fact that the reason why I'm always online and defending Saudi Arabia, one, because I'm here living it. You know, so when you hear about these rumors that's not true, it's hard for me to sit back and just without saying anything. You know what I mean? Saudi Arabia, like every country, no place on earth is perfect unless you get to Jannah.
Jannah.
But the lies that people slinging and throwing around against Saudi, and I'm living here and I'm like, but I don't see this happening. What are you talking about? This is happening. So when I get online, like, that's not true, they think I'm getting paid for it.
That is,
You
you
know
know,
what I mean?
that I mean, you're right. You know, there's a lot of saying about, they must be doing that, must be doing that, and you know, a lot of different stories.
True.
Now,
True.
I have a lot of things, you know, I would love to talk to you about.
Yes.
But Smoky Beards, it began
Yes.
here, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
you know, I know it's like an American, you know, but you
Yes.
guys are not opening a branch of Smoky Beards, which was
Yes.
open to Saudi Arabia, a Saudi brand basically, right?
Of course. Yes. Yes.
CR under Saudi
Yes.
Arabia, so it's a Saudi brand. Now
Yes.
is moving to the U.S.
Yes.
That is, you know, we usually, you know,
It's the opposite.
back in the day it was the opposite, right? You get etc. names, you know, it was going there, you know.
Yeah.
Tell us about that and that move. You know, that's a very bold, you know, I would say
sure.
move, and you
I
know,
think
comes
that-
from a guy with, you know,
Definitely.
had a lot of connections back in the U.S.
I think I would really give this credit to my partners. You know, so we have a group of Saudi partners and American partners that we a team.
MashaAllah.
So the vision to bring it back to America was more of my partner's idea.
MashaAllah.
Of course, I'm down with it. I'm a partner, so I'm a team player.
Yeah.
And it just shows the fact that where Saudi is at right now, because you're having these brands, because Smoky Beer is a Saudi brand, Saudi American brand. Our first branch was in Saudi Arabia, Riyadh, so it is the birthplace of Smoky Beers is Riyadh,
It's
even
Riyadh.
though it's a Texas-style barbecue. So to see that we come in with a Saudi brand going to America is something that maybe 10 years ago or even 5 years ago it would have been unheard of, but Saudi is on the map even in the USA. You know, whether it's come boxing. When boxing is brought up, Saudi got to be next to it. The name Saudi is with boxing. Sports now, whether it's football, soccer for the American fans, we call it soccer. Saudi name is going to be next to soccer. Some of the big players in the world is playing here.
Absolutely.
So tennis, the biggest match. So anything now, you know, sports is part of the culture of the shabab, the youth.
Yeah, yeah.
So having a brand going from Saudi to America now is the perfect time.
Is
you know what I
absolutely
mean? It's the
awesome.
perfect time
And-
because everybody want a piece of Saudi.
You know, and that's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
you got to give credit where credit is due. That's
For sure.
that's definitely, you know, as a Saudi, you know,
Yes.
entrepreneur myself.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, the Ministry of Industry spoke about, you know, that it will be exporting. You know, we'd love to export technology one day. Why not, right? Or you know,
Of course, of
or
course, of course.
or
And it will happen, I'm
yep.
sure. You know
And
what I mean?
that's the beginning, right? These
It's
things
the
are the
beginning,
beginning.
yeah, that's the beginning.
So
True,
you know,
true,
much
true.
respect.
Thank
That.
you, brother.
Do you know that there's an NFL thing
I
going
just
on
read
here?
that.
Yeah.
I just read that a couple days
What's
ago.
his name? Brady, like the legend of
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah,
Tom
that's
Brady
what-
was
man.
with Turkey. You know, post that
seen
place. They spoke. So there's gonna be some
Wow.
football for the American. You know,
The
for
American football is coming, you know what I
American
mean?
football.
But we got to give it up to soccer. Though. We can't talk down to soccer
Soccer.
because it's the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
America,
yeah.
unfortunately, we don't know that.
Yeah.
We hear the world championship, or we only think it was basketball or what it baseball until you move,
Yeah.
till you start traveling outside of America.
Soccer is
you realize the world is
without
not
that soccer
America
or
anymore.
football.
You know, soccer is really the biggest sport in the world. Football. You know what I mean? People even
Absolutely.
get mad when you call it soccer outside of America. For sure.
So you know, tell me about these 15 years, brother. You know,
Yes.
ups and downs. What's going on? Raising a family here, right?
For sure.
So, mashallah, your kids. I've seen them. You
sure.
know, I've seen them one in college as well too.
Alhamdulillah. Yes,
So, mashallah.
yes.
Mashallah, tabarakallah. I mean, you know,
Jazakallah khair,
who would
brother.
say
Thank
that this young, you know, man,
Yeah.
you know, has mashallah a kid in college now.
Thank
so,
you, brother, man.
mashallah, tabarakallah. So,
Alhamdulillah.
tell me about all these things, man.
You know,
What's
living
going
here 15 years, I always say it's the best decision of my life moving to Saudi Arabia because now you see the world is trying to get here. You know, what the people are saying now, I seen the first time I visited Saudi Arabia was 2002. I was a new Muslim. I went to Hajj. I seen it back then before social media that this is the place to be. And I've been trying to get to Saudi Arabia from 2002 up until I moved officially in 2010. So the fact that I was able to raise my kids here in a safe environment, you know, when you really from the hood or from the streets, you don't want your kids to be like you. You want your kids to be better than you in every aspect. So when I sit back and look at my kids, they don't know, you know, anything about the street life, alhamdulillah, other than what they probably, you know, accumulated by their own knowledge and understanding where their father come from. I think the true success of leaving the street is not having your family and your kids part of the streets. So I thank God that I was able to, you know, accomplish that, inshallah. You know what I mean?
MashaAllah.
So that's a blessing. Thank God. Alhamdulillah.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah,
You
you
know?
know. MashaAllah, Mطاع, يعني watching you're loved. I mean, you got a lot of base followers. You got a lot of
Alhamdulillah.
Saudis, you know, come here. I never saw, you know, an individual, you know.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Saudi, my people.
Yes. You're loved a lot here, you know,
Alhamdulillah,
and you got a like great community
Nah,
between
true.
a lot of them Saudis and, you know,
Yeah, true.
mix. You know, you can see him with the Deontay Wilder, and you can see him with, you know, and
Alhamdulillah.
في البر, you know, just having you know what
I'm
I'm saying?
thankful to be in a country where I feel the love here. You know what I mean? Like I told you the last time, Saudis are like light-skinned black people from America, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like, but I do feel it even when I go out. You feel a difference. You know what I mean? Because it's a community. You know, when you know that you're living in a community amongst your brothers, you feel safe. It's hard to explain because we didn't have this in America. Honestly, you do have friendship, camaraderie, and family, no doubt about it. But it's not like what's based on what you found in Saudi Arabia because it's based on Islam. You understand? So, and it took me like 15 years living here. I never felt like a stranger. Don't get me wrong. I always got to let people know, no country is perfect.
Absolutely.
You understand? But
Absolutely.
Saudi Arabia is one of them countries that, with the people in the country, majority of it is khair, good. Minority is when you might have some things where you be patient.
Absolutely.
So it's the fact that it's a country where everybody just want to come out and be peaceful. You know what I mean? They don't want to. You know, everybody. It's a peaceful nation. Only time you might get upset is driving. That's the only time. Only time I beef sometimes with Saudis is when I'm driving. They say stuff to me, I say stuff back. But the difference here is America. You get road rage, they start shooting.
Yeah, exactly.
Saudis, sometimes you jump out.
I was just gonna say.
You end up start hugging each other. I made friends. Some good friends I met from road rage in Saudi.
Wow.
Like we arguing and we beefing with each other. Next thing you know, we drinking coffee together.
Are you the guy? Oh my God! You know what I'm saying?
Now that really happened a few times, bro. The people came back and apologized, and I'm like, I apologize back because we in Saudi, bro.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Now, Mطاع, what do you like? You know, what is the future? You know, what do you get? What kind of plans you got going on?
For sure.
Like I know, MashaAllah, you know, you guys got MashaAllah.
For sure.
A franchise, I would call. I mean, because now it's two states and it's
Yes.
one of the most popular too as well too. You know,
sure.
so what is like your future goal and aim and you know
The future goal, inshallah, of course, to try to expand as much as we can. We have an Okla, which is a smash burger restaurant. For me,
also, so you have like a couple of
yeah, we have one only, Okla smash burger. For me as a person, you know, Saudi is going to make the new law in January 2026. I want to be a homeowner in Saudi. That's the goal. You know what I mean? To own a home for my family here because they allow foreigners to own homes now. That's something I waited for years. So to have that opportunity, I'd rather own a home here in Saudi than the USA. You know what I mean? So the goal is to plant my seeds here. My kids can continue to raise their kids here if they want to, inshallah. So that's the goal. You know what I mean? And to show the people that it can be done, that you can walk away from. You know, sometimes we're afraid when we live a life. You know, thank God people like you guys in Saudis, born Muslim, born in a very safe environment. People like myself who converted to the religion of Islam and come from the music industry, I didn't know nothing else but music. My money was through music. My income was through music. So to walk away from it, sometimes the devil put doubts in your mind where, are you going to be able to survive?
And he was making, I mean, he was good. Right.
Thank
I mean,
you, bro.
you see back some of his old, you know. So you were doing quite good. I think we spoke about that. You know,
for sure. Yeah.
A lot of times that you know you're a person who had what I mean. You had money. I mean,
and it was hard to walk away from it because you don't know. You know, because I'm comfortable with that lifestyle. You're comfortable with some lifestyle. You don't know anything else other than music, streets, and to be able to walk away from it. To come to Saudi Arabia. I probably had $100 on my name. A lot of people don't know that.
Wow.
I left everything, and people thought I was crazy. I came with my wife and my kids, but I did have trust in God. I had trust in Allah that you leave something for the sake of Allah, He's going to give you something better. So even when the world thought I was crazy, this is before the 2030 vision, I had the vision. I'm going to Saudi Arabia, bro.
Absolutely, you know, and, you know, I think, you know, as an individual too, right, like people when they, you know, real wealth is just being able to, you know what, saying,
Yeah.
I'm okay with once you like.
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm
yes.
saying?
Yes.
And you reach that mindset, to be honest.
Alhamdulillah,
You know,
alhamdulillah.
the way at
Thank you.
least is, what I'm
Yeah.
seeing.
Thank
that
you,
mindset.
brother.
But you're also doing a lot of other things other than business,
Yes.
entrepreneur. You know, you
Yes,
also
yes.
you got your own podcast. You guys, you
True,
know,
true.
you guys host,
Yeah.
talk about a lot of different things.
Sure.
How's that going for you?
It's coming along good. We started recording again. Me and my co-host Shamps. You know, he's from the UK.
Yeah.
Been living here for
That's
also
an
10
awesome.
years.
That's an awesome. That's an awesome, to be honest. With
Yeah.
the UK and the US and Saudi Arabia, huh?
That's why
I'm doing a podcast
you
in
know,
Saudi
when we
Arabia.
started, it was like we was wanted to be that bridge because a lot of people from the West, your podcast is in English, of course, but you're Saudi, so they might say, okay, he's going to be
He's
biased.
Saudi, yep,
He's
absolutely,
Saudi.
yep.
But what about American or British living here? Do they really like this country or do they? So we wanted to be that bridge to let people know that, we foreigners living in Saudi Arabia, as foreigners, we thrive, and we're going to, from my point of view, let you know as foreigners what's happening in Saudi Arabia. So we really, we start recording again. We're looking forward to do, and it gotta have a good chemistry. Like, even though Shamps is from the UK, his background is different than mine. He's an individual that he grew up listening to my music and stuff like that, but he worked for Roshan, PIF, and he's in
Mashallah.
that but to be
Mashallah.
able to have a good chemistry is what's very important, because
Absolutely.
it's not really about just podcasting,
Yeah,
as you
yeah,
see. You got to
yeah.
be able to connect with your guests.
Absolutely.
Which you do good as well, mashallah.
Appreciate it. Now, I'm looking for the invitation.
No, we're going to get
Whenever,
you on it.
whenever you guys are
We'll
ready,
get you on it,
trust me, I'm
inshallah.
ready. I'm just
No, we got you for sure.
appreciate
Definitely.
that. Now, Mutah,
Yes.
life here has been, to be honest, on the rush the past couple of years, right? And it's
Yes.
been the rush, been a lot of
Yes.
things been going on, and it's
Yeah.
catching up with all of that. Do you think
Yeah.
I want to get your perspective?
Yes.
Is it too rapid? Too rapid for the people? Is it was it like, because I'm getting a lot of even shocks when I go to the US a lot. I get like,
Yes.
you guys are. I'm just hearing a lot of things.
Yeah.
How are you guys able to keep up as a society with a lot of what's going on, and
Yeah.
especially the big city like Riyadh, where a lot of things happen.
Yeah. I think it's well planned. I think the people that's doing it is they doing it properly. I had some friends that was here from the States last week, first time in Riyadh, and they wrote me. I got messages where they like, bro, Riyadh is next level. They like, we ready to move to Riyadh, and they said that's where the money's at. So no matter what you coming for, come.
True. Exactly.
But they
No matter
starting
where
to
you
see.
come from, exactly.
Yeah, some people might only come for money. Nothing wrong with that.
True.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some people might come
Invest in Saudi.
Invest in Saudi.
Invest
Nothing
in
wrong
Saudi.
with that. Some people
Absolutely.
might want to come for, I came to raise my kids in a Muslim country
True.
and was also able to do business.
Tourism too as
Yes.
well, and other
So
sectors.
everybody come for their own reason, but the fact that they're coming to Saudi because they know there is an opportunity is what's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is what's amazing.
I gotta ask you a bold question, right?
Yes.
Which is cool.
Yes.
Tourism in Saudi, right?
Yes.
Let me tell you, like when I see the Red Sea, or even
Yeah.
coming here in Riyadh and everything,
Yes.
you got some of the modernized places to go. You want to
Yeah.
go to visit to the, you want traditional stuff. You can go camping. Now they're doing a lot of big events, etc., etc. I gotta ask you a bold question a little bit.
Yes.
Some would say, well, Walid, you guys don't have alcohol here.
Yes. Yes.
What's your perspective on that? And do you think is it affecting some people making a decision to come live in here from the West specifically?
I don't think it really affecting people from the West to move here because they don't have alcohol. If it is, it's going to be a minority, and it shows that they have an addiction. So I don't think you want that in your, God prohibited alcohol for a reason. I come from a country where I seen drugs tear down neighborhoods. I seen alcohol destroy neighborhoods, communities, and families from alcohol. I seen that. So be able to see Saudi Arabia prospering, moving forward without alcohol, we know that you don't need it. Some of the biggest empires in the world, starting with the Prophet Muhammad and the Sahaba, they conquered, and what we mean, not by the sword, but they was able to change nations, and they was all sober. They didn't go and push, you know what I mean? In Spain, when Spain was ruling, when the Muslims ruled Spain for 800 years, it was the golden age of Europe.
Yeah.
when you look at when Spain started declining, it's when alcohol started coming in play. This is true, because history repeats itself. So when the alcohol started coming and people started doing morally things that wasn't correct, Spain lost all their power.
Yeah.
So Saudi Arabia, I pray that they continue down this path, because they doing wonderful. They showing the world that you don't need alcohol to do it, and they doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
doing it, alhamdulillah.
That's man, you said it greatly, and you know the example is good, and use the word even moral, like you didn't
Yeah.
like add religion to it, like
Of
morally, you know,
Yeah.
and you know that was one of the things
Yeah.
that, you know, a lot of, you know, what you were talking like, man, it's cool, but do you think this affected him? Like,
Because you don't need, you know how many people came and said,
yeah,
I realized coming to Saudi Arabia, I don't need alcohol to have fun.
yeah,
I know people came here and said, I went a week without having alcohol, and I'm going back to never drink again because it finally woke me up. They say, you know, when they had the World Cup in Qatar without alcohol, they said most
Yeah,
of the
there was a
Europeans
lot
said
of-
this was the best day ever. Because, you know, I come from, listen, bro, I was a person that drunk every day of my life before Islam. And I seen what alcohol done. It made me violent. It made me, you know, so when a person was on alcohol, they really not in their right mind. So you don't need that to have fun, because you want to be sober to really enjoy it.
yeah.
So I pray that Saudi continue, because they showing the world we don't
Yeah.
need it.
Yep,
I
exactly.
mean? You don't
They're
need it.
showing the world that, you know, all
True.
this is happening, you know, without
True.
a lot of things. And as you said, there's some morals, you know, and
Yeah.
and standards,
Of course.
traditions, etc. All
True.
these things,
Yeah.
brother. Before I let you go, you know, you gotta tell me what's next for Mطاع. What's your next schedule? What do you got going on?
What I got going on, we're going to continue to, you know, we're recording the podcast, so we're going to start dropping again soon, inshallah. We're going to open Smoky Beers, Saudi, coming to
Saudi,
Texas.
a Saudi brand in Texas.
Coming soon, inshallah.
That's mashallah.
And just being here, you know, when we
That
are,
to me is one of the Vision 2030s
for sure, for
goals,
sure.
right? You know, it
sure.
is not only
Yeah.
tracked. You know, it was to diverse the economy,
Yes.
right? Being a non-oil dependent country, but also attract foreign
True.
investors,
Yeah.
and also now you're even going to franchise, you know, opening
Yeah.
a brand there. You know,
For sure. Nah, man, Saudi Arabia is it's the place to be. I tell people that.
Mm-hmm.
Saudi is the place to be. I've been saying it for the last 15 years. And alhamdulillah, there's a lot of opportunities that's happening in Saudi Arabia. I tell people to come now before it's too late. I say come now because there's a lot of opportunities and people get to come here. You know, I have a guy coming from London tomorrow.
mashallah.
And he's coming just to talk to me about how to open up a business in Saudi Arabia.
MashaAllah.
I have a team from Germany that's here now. So I'm watching these people come from all over the world, and they come into Saudi Arabia, and they just say, look, just tell us how to open our business here. And I'm putting them in contact with the right people. Call this number. You know, call this person. And so I'm
Misa
watching the
now
people
also
with Misa, yeah, I'm watching the people come from all over the world to set up a business here, to raise their kids here. So I'm happy to witness that. Alhamdulillah.
Mطاع, always a pleasure.
The pleasure always mine,
Thank you
brother.
so much.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
And excuse me if I talked a lot. Yeah, I'm usually the person who sits, you know, asks the question.
Nah,
And I was too excited, you know.
Nah,
you
it was
know?
a good, man. Forgive me if I talk, because I was cutting you off.
No,
Okay.
brother. I appreciate
Thank you,
you.
brother.
Thank you so
Thank
much, Mطaع.